Imagine waking up tomorrow morning. You check your phone. No boss, no customers, no meetings. And somehow, money arrived while you were asleep. Now here's the crazy part. The difference between someone earning $0 in passive income and someone earning $100,000 per month isn't usually intelligence. It's what stage they're currently trapped in. Today, we're going to travel through every level of passive income, from absolute zero all the way to $100,000 a month. And trust me, the biggest surprise isn't at $100,000. It's what happens around $10,000. Most people think passive income is a magical money machine. It's not. Every level comes with a completely different lifestyle, different problems, different freedoms, different stress, and some levels actually feel worse than the one before them. So let's start at the beginning. Level 1, $0 per month. Imagine this. You wake up tomorrow and decide not to work. How much money would you make? For most people, the answer is exactly zero. At this level, every single dollar is connected to your time. The moment you stop working, the money stops flowing. And here's the shocking part. Millions of people spend their entire lives here. Not because they lack ambition, not because they aren't working hard. In fact, many are working harder than ever. According to multiple workforce studies, most employees spend over 90,000 hours of their lives working. Yet many never escape the cycle of trading time for money. Because when rent is due, bills are stacking up, and unexpected expenses keep appearing. Long-term thinking becomes a luxury. Survival takes over. You focus on today's paycheck instead of tomorrow's assets. And that's why passive income feels so far away. Not because it's impossible, because building something that pays later is incredibly difficult when life demands payment now. But here's what's interesting. The next level doesn't change your lifestyle. It doesn't make you rich. It doesn't solve your money problems. What it changes is something far more powerful. And before we move to the next level, if you're currently at level 1, still trading time for money, hit the like button, because one day you'll come back to this video and realize how far you've come. And if you're serious about building passive income, then subscribe, because the next few minutes might completely change the way you think about money. Now let's move to the second level, where passive income starts feeling real. Level 2, $1,000 per month. Now we're talking. $1,000 every month can cover serious expenses, rent in some cities, car payments, utilities, groceries. For the first time, your passive income starts carrying real weight. And that's exactly why this level feels so dangerous. Because $1,000 a month creates confidence. Sometimes, too much confidence. People start imagining early retirement, luxury lifestyles, financial freedom. But here's the reality. You're still one bad decision away from losing it all. And that income can disappear overnight. The people who stay stuck here focus on making more money. They build multiple streams, multiple assets, multiple sources of income. Because real wealth isn't built on one pillar. The biggest shift at this stage isn't financial, it's strategic. You stop thinking like a worker and start thinking like an owner. And once that mindset takes hold, the path to $10,000 becomes much clearer. Because the jump from $1,000 to $10,000 isn't about working harder. It's about building systems that work without you. And that's where life starts looking very different. Quick reality check. If I deposited $10,000 into your account every month for the next 10 years, would you still work the same job? Keep that answer in your head, because we're about to enter the level where millions of people dream of living. Level 3, $10,000 per month. This is where life changes, not because you're rich, because you're free. At $10,000 a month, your bills get paid whether you work today or not. For the first time, money stops controlling every decision. Time becomes your most valuable asset. And that changes everything. You stop worrying about every unexpected expense. Instead of constantly asking, "Can I afford this?" you start asking, "Is this worth my time?" That's a completely different way to live, because time is the one thing money can never create more of. And once you've experienced that freedom, it's difficult to go back. And here's the surprising part. The journey to $10,000 is often harder than the journey beyond it. Most people spend years trading time for money, but the people who reach this level learn how to build things that continue producing value. And that's when wealth begins compounding faster than most people can imagine. What took years to build can start multiplying itself. And that's the moment the game completely changes, which leads to the next level. Most people think rich people work less. In reality, many of them work more. The difference is simple. They're working on assets, not jobs. And that distinction changes everything. Level 4. $50,000 per month. Imagine earning more in a month than many people earn in an entire year. Sounds unreal, but the biggest difference isn't the money, it's how you think about it. At this level, the game is no longer about earning. It's about deploying. You stop asking, how do I make money? And start asking, where can this money grow the fastest? And that's when wealth starts multiplying itself, not through harder work, through leverage. This is where compounding becomes visible. Your assets begin creating more assets. Your money starts attracting more money. The most successful people at this level aren't necessarily the smartest. They're often the best allocators. They know where to place capital, when to wait, and when to act. Because the difference between good wealth and extraordinary wealth is often one decision repeated over decades. But even this level isn't the destination, because there is one final stage. The stage almost everyone dreams about. The stage that seems impossible when you're starting from zero. Level 5, $100,000 per month. Here's a statistic that sounds almost unbelievable. At $100,000 per month, you're earning $1.2 million a year. That's more than many people will earn in decades of work. But the most interesting part isn't the number, it's what the number unlocks. The biggest difference isn't the mansion, the supercars, the luxury vacations, or the expensive watches. Those things get old surprisingly fast. The real advantage is freedom. At this level, money stops being the problem you're trying to solve. You can live almost anywhere, travel whenever you want, work on projects that genuinely interest you. That's a level of flexibility most people never experience. But something else changes too. You realize that money was never the most valuable resource. Time is. That's why people at this level become obsessed with protecting their schedule, because those are the resources that truly matter. And after years of building assets, taking risks, and creating leverage, they finally understand the ultimate luxury. It's not wealth, it's control. Control over your life. So where are you today? $0, $1,000, $10,000. Maybe somewhere in between. Wherever you are, remember this. Nobody starts at $100,000 a month. Every person who gets there passes through the same stages, the same doubts, the same mistakes, the same setbacks. The only difference is they keep building assets, while others keep trading time. And one day, those assets start working harder than they do. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe, because the next video might contain the one idea that moves you to the next level.